If you just took the APUSH exam and you're curious about your answers, stay tuned, I've got you covered. In this video, we're going to go through set 1, question number 4. So if this one looks familiar to you, that's what we're going through. If you had set 1, you had a choice between the American Revolution and Cold War. The first Cold War question that we're going to talk about here is about a Cold War policy, and it doesn't specify whether this is a domestic policy or a international global policy. So for the domestic policies, I think anything related to development of STEM programs, things like this involving in the space race or loyalty review programs, those would all be really great. When we think international, things like the containment ideas, the Truman, Eisenhower, Reagan doctrines, I don't know if I said the Marshall Plan, détente, Vietnamization, all of those would work. There's a whole bunch that I didn't cover, but hopefully that gives you an idea of whether something you wrote was similar or different to one of these. Part B is so broad. Similarity or difference between any two groups in American society. I'm guessing most of you were able to describe a difference really well. So thinking about doves versus hawks, so people who support the war, people who were anti-war, civil rights leaders that were kind of highlighting the inherent discrimination involved, and also so civil rights leaders versus government officials who are supporting the war. Conservatives versus liberals, that's obviously going to be a big one. Even youth versus older Americans. So those are just a few groups I thought of. Historical developments after 1980 that led to the end of the Cold War, that's part C. And so you could talk about some international things going on like perestroika, glasnost, Eastern European revolutions, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the economic collapse of the USSR. You could also think about the arms reduction treaties that were going on, like the INF Treaty, or the increased military spending, like through SDI Star Wars. You could also think about how the digital revolution or the information age would have spread more Western ideas about democracy and capitalism abroad. So that's, again, just a few options for how you could have answered part C. Clearly, with such broad questions, there's going to be a huge variety of answers. So go ahead and write what you wrote below as a comment, and see if anybody else agrees that what you wrote is a great answer for set 1 SAQ 4.